Hello, my name's Steve Morris. I wrote a book called Do It Yourself, A History of Music in Medway. I'm doing a bit of a series of interviews with various people from around Medway who have written and sung and done all kinds of things. And today I'm with Chris Broderick.
Right.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So I thought I'd have a chat with you about your lifetimes, your career, your singing loins, and everything. Yeah. What is your earliest musical memory? It's a question I've asked a couple of other people.
There wasn't a lot of music in our house.
No?
Didn't get a radio. I had very odd parents. Didn't get a radiogram even until I was about 12, 13. Early musical. Well, I was in the church choir and everything. I kind of liked choral music, and I used to. I was quite an odd boy. So it was choral music for me, and I dismissed this pop music. My sister, who was 18 months younger, was into it.
Yeah.
And so other than choral music, she had a Mark Bolan poster up in her room when she was probably, I don't know, 11, 12. I was about 12, 13. And became obsessed with this poster. He had a natural wood Les Paul, and something about that guitar I really liked. I don't know. Then I started hearing it, so I bought Metal Guru 1972, so I was 13. That was my first ever pop record.
Yeah.
At 13. And suddenly, and the change was just. And,
Out goes the choral music.
Yeah, it was very, very odd. So there were musical. I mean, I can remember bits on the wireless, but we weren't big radio fans either. So
yeah.
In our house.
Right.
God for my sister.
So Mark Bolan. What else did you?
Oh well, the first music was like all. Because I'm very, very old, so it was all glam stuff, it was all Slade, T-Rex, stuff like that. Early Roxy, then I started getting into kind of realising that music can go somewhere as well, so kind of early Roxy and stuff. And then before you knew it, it was kind of punk, which really kind of enlivened everything.
Yeah.
I suppose I was, 16, 17?
Oh, so just the right age to...
Yeah.
To be hit by that.
Yeah.
And what was your experience of getting into bands? How did that path sort of happen? Because it was different. I remember from interviewing you before to say how Billy Childish and Bruce Band and things like that. They were in a.
Yeah, most of the talent was kind of snuffled up, and it was it was all seemed a bit clicky. But I just had no peers that were interested at all. In fact, on my 18th birthday, I walked out on a bunch of my friends. I'm prone to doing things like that. I just walked out in the middle of the party because I'd been trying to say, look, I want to either we get a van and drive around Europe, or we form a band, or we do both.
Yeah.
And they didn't want to do anything. They just wanted it was the 2.4 kids, steady job, and I was just fed up of it. So I literally walked out. Bought a second-hand guitar from Charlie Waldron's, which was up in Boston, and this silly little practice amp. Taught myself about 4 chords, put an advert in Melody Maker. So I wanted to audition people, went around auditioning people, blithely auditioning these, real twiddly types, and I was trying to do these kind of 2 chord songs with lyrics. I've been writing lyrics since I was about 15. I became very, very interested in English, and China. I've got no qualifications, but English and trying to express myself was really important. So, it was really embarrassing, and trying to get it. Eventually, I got a bass player. That was it. So, messed around with him for a while. Yeah. Learned a couple of covers, tried to get writing. Then I heard there was a band out in Walden, which was Graham Seamark. It was at his place from Red Studios, and they were looking for a singer. So, went along. Don't think they saw many people, but I got the role. And I think I had to sing Caroline, Status Quo's Caroline.
Okay.
For the audition. Anyway, so the first thing I did was got them writing as soon as possible and showed them this stuff I'd got. And we knocked it into shape. And this was about 78, 79, I suppose. Kind of post-punk. I was into bands like Magazine then.
Okay.
Yeah, it was difficult. It was difficult. And then when we started on the circuit, there was this weird, to me, Medway sound that we never wanted to be part of. Some of the bands were good,
yeah,
but I didn't quite understand all the retro aspect.
right.
So anyway, but we did our post-punk power pop, and
what was that band?
the first band was called Mass Media,
Okay.
and that didn't do much. And then as soon as we learnt to play our instruments, we went right up our own arses and thought we were Jethro Tull, so we were writing sort of 8-minute epics. Really,
Like punk never happened.
yeah, real pretentious lyrics. And I realised myself that was poo.
Right.
So I left here and went up to London, lived in the bedsit for a while in Belsize Park
Yeah.
to be a poet. And there's a tragic poet on the dole. But it was very easy to be on the dole then. And I was on the dole for about 11 consecutive years from that moment. Which
Okay.
and weirdly, through the Thatcher government, it was very weird, you know, that you could just... I just called it my arts grant because I was writing all the time,
Yeah.
learning to do this, educate myself. I didn't come out of school educated. So I spent a lot of my time in libraries just reading, and trying to express myself and slowly getting better.
Yeah.
I don't think I was any good until, well, we started, I came back here and we started a Bag of Wildlife that managed to get a bit of a following round here. So that would have been what, early to mid 80s. And we used to play the MIC and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that did pretty well, and we got a Paisley Melody Maker once, and blah blah blah, you know. So that kind of, anyway, that ran its course. Then there was a band called Dumbfounded. Oh, I moved up to London. Oh yeah, there was it was a bit odd because I was in writing with another chap, so just as a kind of duo called Kite, and we actually got a publishing deal with Chrysalis.
Oh yeah.
And we did did all these demos for the album. We had a single ready to go with EMI, and they told us to go to Paris. It was they said we weren't going to get an Ollie for 7 years, so go to Paris, piss your advance up the wall, and have a great time, which we did. I said, aren't we supposed to buy a little studio, do something sensible to our manager? He was the manager of 9 Below Zero and Nick Kershaw, weirdly, at the time.
Yeah.
And so we went to Paris, pissed it up the wall, had a great time, come back, and the A&R bloke who liked us at EMI had gone.
Yeah.
And it all just fell apart. This stuff happens a lot, it's just it never kind of happened. Anyway, I bored you enough with that bit.
No, that's fine.
And that was all pre-Loins, obviously.
Yeah.
Loins about 1989, 90 we started, which was after Dumbfounded.
Because the Loins came out of another band, didn't it? It was you and...
We were called, we were called Dumbfounded. That was Glenn Barnes, me, various people on drums. This chap, I told you that we were talking before. He used to drive down from Gloucester to play guitar. And Glenn, Arf joined on bass.
Yeah.
At some point, and the band kind of split up. And just that thing of trying to kick drummers and lead guitars and all the bands up to them were a real compromise, excuse me, which I didn't like. You know, we'd have to have a heavy metal guitarist and a hippie drummer. You know, I could never get the people I really wanted. So I said to Arf, well look, you can play acoustic, can't you? Yeah, I'll play acoustic, yeah. Well, let's just do a duo, let's just do it and just write, really strip it back and just get involved in songwriting, just see what it sounds like with my voice. I was banging a lot of things, percussion and stuff, and Arf was doing really great backing vocals, really good harmonies, which he did naturally and automatically, which was a great part of our sound. And it worked, so we kind of started playing around. No one wanted to stay. The folk clubs absolutely hated us. We just called it folk. It was just acoustic. stuff, but kind of we just wanted it to be simple. And of course, folk is kind of very earthy. I mean, it's before blues. The blues come out of folk. Really, English folk songs became changed into blues songs on plantations and stuff. So as long as it was earthy, that's all I wanted to do. Something that we could. It was easy to gig, just the two of us. Easy to rehearse, just do it in the front room.
Yeah. And
just get right back to basics and have nothing flowery at all. And we couldn't get any fucking gigs. We were playing around sort of local pubs and stuff, but they were used to rock bands. Some pubs just literally wouldn't have us because we didn't have a drum kit. But we battled and battled. We were playing two old gits and a dog for years and years and years, and they really didn't like the folk clubs. It's not folk. And the only folk person, or the first folk person who realised and got into us was Doug Hudson, actually.
Okay.
So, the bloke does the sweeps now. He saw us. We were playing some outdoor thing. I don't know how we got it. So, some garden party. It was vile, and there were about 4 people watching us with disdain painted on their faces. And we just did our thing. And Doug kind of said, I'm not sure if you're shit or brilliant, but I like you. So that was good. So we started getting a few gigs through Doug, and eventually some of the better folk clubs started inviting us to play there.
Okay.
But mostly our home really was kind of, small clubs or pubs,
Yeah.
because it just became raucous. I'm not sure why, but
Yeah.
Well, I suppose we had to. We had to win them over with energy because we didn't have anything else. It was an acoustic guitar and an old mush singing. And then Billy. So I'd already approached him. Well, I kind of knew him through music vaguely. We supported him once up the Open Anchor.
Yeah.
But when I didn't really talk an awful lot. He saw us at the MIC a couple of times. We used to see him around a place called the Celtic Cross and stuff like that. And I approached him because I was writing some poetry. So this was about, again, 89, 90. I'd started writing some poetry and didn't know what to do with it. And so I thought, well, he's definitely the man with his Hangman books and stuff. And the Medway poets, as they were called then. A group of people, Bill Lewis and Charles Thompson and Billy. I'd never seen them do the poetry. Anyway, he was really helpful. Showed me how to edit poems, really get them down to the kind of, nugget of what you're trying to say. And he was really great help, and he published them on Hangman books. So that was great, and we did poetry readings. We used to have 100 people to poetry readings at the tops of pubs around here. Yeah. It was fantastic for a brief time. Yeah. Anyway, he said, they come to see the Loins. We just started playing, we played half a dozen gigs or so. And he came along and said, yeah, I really like that. I think he liked that authenticity again, that kind of rawness. Yeah. And of course, the blues people that he loved, he knew that there was a kind of acoustic folk crossover and stuff. So anyway, he liked us enough to he recorded basically our sort of first set and put it out on vinyl on Hangman. Brilliant, that was great. I was 30 by then and kind of, really, that's what I say, it took me a long time. I was no prodigy at all. And I don't think the songwriting started until I was in the late 20s, really, the good stuff. Yeah. It's good stuff, he said. But better than before.
So most important question, what's it like to record in a toilet? Because that's where you recorded.
We did, yeah, we did 2 albums in his toilet. Yeah, that's right. It was great. They were literally, because Bruce Brand was kind of hanging around, so he percussed on a few songs, standing in the bath. And half was playing with sort of one leg up on the side of the bath.
How big is this bathroom?
Oh, tiddly tiny, yeah. Yeah, well, small box size.
Just enough room
for the acoustics. Yeah, and it was onto an old 1960 half-track machine, which means you can record live onto 2 tracks. So we had 2 mics going, and Kira and Holly Golightly were there as well. Yeah. So they did some backing vocals.
Even more people.
Yeah, yeah, and it was just the most live thing, because that's what we were doing anyway. And it was just, the tape was on for about 2 hours and we did like a dozen songs. And that was it, because you have to mix that down to one mono track. Although you can record with 2 mics, you can't balance them or anything. And it was released unmastered, mixed onto one mono track. 2 albums we did like that, and they had some real kind of, you know, oomph about them.
Yeah.
Great fun, it was great fun doing it.
Would you recommend the experience?
Oh. Oh yeah, you must always try and record as live as possible, absolutely. And in a bog, even better.
Even better. How do you feel the Loins developed over time? I mean, after a while you acquired Rob Shepherd, didn't you? And
yeah, we, yeah, so what did we do? Yeah, me and Arthur kind of...
Because there were like 2 instalments really of you, wasn't there, I think?
Yeah, well, in fact, 3 really, because I went to the film school after the first 2 albums. Well, after the first album, Arthur left. I'm not sure why that was, he never explained it. But I hated the fact that momentum was going.
Yeah.
So Glenn Barnes, who I have worked with on and off for years, and he was in the previous band, I co-wrote half the next album with Glenn.
Okay.
And he kind of played with me for a while until Arthur regained interest. And then Arthur come back in time to record the second album. Glenn's kind of guested on it on bits and pieces. So that gave us an idea of what something over the top of banjo and mandolin or something could be, how we could blend that with the Arthur's 12 string.
Yeah.
Glenn didn't want to actually join us though. So yeah, sorry, I was away at the film school for a couple of years, so it all kind of slowed down a bit then anyway.
Yeah.
And I got in on the screenwriting course, and lived up there in Beaconsfield for 2 years.
Yeah.
And so nothing much was done there. Then came back down, recorded another 2 albums. Hangman had gone bust by then, so we just put them out on cassette as it was then.
So what were these albums?
The first one was Songs for the Organ.
Oh yeah.
On Hangman. Second one was Steak and Gravy on Hangman. The 2 cassette ones were Penny Plain Tuppence Coloured and Clever Clogs and Big Head. So it's those 4 albums that are on that big compilation thing.
Singing Loins.
Yeah, so it's those 4. And then, yes, then we had an argument, split up for about 4 years.
Yeah.
And then came back, yeah, we kind of relaunched at the Tap and Tin. That's where everyone was playing at the time. And like 4 times as many people came to see us as had done before.
Yeah.
So we thought, cool, this is a bit tasty. And then we just got into writing again for the second phase. And we were kind of looking for someone. And we knew, we knew Rob socially.
Yeah.
But he wouldn't join us, I don't know why. He only played guitar. And we said, well, if you join us, you've got to play accordion, mandolin, banjo, try a bit of fiddle.
Yeah.
And he wouldn't join us. But then after a couple of years, he did. And he did a terrific job learning the words. And how the hell you switch? Because mandolin chords are back to front, and banjos, I love the sound of a banjo. I know some people don't, I love a banjo. And anyway, and we just did that to kind of get up folky's noses, really, so we could still kind of call it folk.
Yeah.
Just using these rootsy instruments, that was all. And then, and Rob did a terrific job.
Yeah.
And I started writing with him as well, because he wrote. So, you know, the next couple of albums, it was usually shared. I'd write half a dozen with Rob, half a dozen with Arth.
Yeah.
And there we go.
Yeah.
I'm not sucking hard enough.
It's no real secret that the Loins had some fiery moments. Do you feel that influenced the way the band worked with the?
Yeah, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did. Me and Arth did have, I must say, almost a telepathic understanding on stage. It was great. I never quite got that with Rob or anyone that I've played with since, but there was something did click with me and Arth. And it was literally a look on stage and you'd know what was going on. I've missed an intro, he'll go round again, he's done this, I'll cover for him. And it was, and even the kind of language, as being non-musicians, you know, you can't Yeah, most pop musicians are non-music, don't read and write, so you can't. So you sort of go, oh, that bit that goes, no, you know. And I've always got it, you know. We could communicate to each other in this kind of in these cavemen grunts that got across what we were trying to.
Yeah.
They're the most delicate glissando or something that we would describe into caveman grunts, and we'd get it.
Yeah.
So it was interesting.
Yeah. Okay. And the songwriting process. It was either you and Arth or you and Rob.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a three of you all together at one time.
No. We would take. Well, me and Arth started writing kind of face to face, and me doing the melodies and lyrics. The tunes always kind of came with the words, and Arth would be strumming around and. Until oh yes, like that. Then I have to get him to repeat it so much while I'm fiddling with the lyric. What we always just used to do in the end was record it on a little, portable cassette player. Later, of course, that became emails, and he'd send me MP3s. But we just started. So I'll just say we'll just play it through once. Don't worry about an arrangement or a structure or anything. And then I could work on that with the lyric. And as I'm working on the lyric and the melody, a bit so middle eight might pop up, and I think, if we need something here, look, I might have something here, so we work on that together, structure the thing, and Bob's your uncle, the next hit. And the same, so I did the same process with Rob as well, just so they didn't have to sit there strumming around the same thing all the time.
Yeah.
So we'd work kind of separately. They'd play me bits of music, something would go, yes, that one.
Yeah.
I'd get going, if I kind of came up with a hooky bit of melody and a bit of a, often the scrambled eggs type, but McCartney, yesterday was scrambled eggs.
Yeah.
So I'd have these fake bits to work out the syllables and the scan and so write nonsense words, but then dismiss
so that the music often came first and then...
Yeah, that's the way I prefer doing it.
Yeah.
I mean, well, when we first started, I wrote poems and gave them to Arth, but I realised I wasn't... hard enough, and I was I liked the discipline of, and so I used to set myself projects like 3 syllables a line or something, like to get it down, boil it down.
Yeah.
And if I wrote a poem, it would be too self-important.
Okay.
So in the end, and all the musicals even that I did with Rob, in the end, I would just. They would send me bits of music. I'd find one that kind of clicked something, and work on that. Yeah. Because I've forgotten what the question was.
Just about the process of.
Oh yeah.
Writing songs.
Yeah. So then I I preferred that way. I'd been inspired by a bit of music first. Yeah. And then I would be very strictly tied down by that with the words,
And it was always you writing the lyrics?
Arth wrote 3 songs. He's got every album we did. He always said, "Got a song, Arth?" Sometimes he did, sometimes he didn't. They're always great. So they'd go on. Yeah. So any album that hasn't got one, he just didn't have a song at that time. Yeah. He wrote half of. There was a song called "Shut Your Mouth," which. It was a Cool and Arts thing, so he wrote his bit and I wrote my bit.
Okay.
But generally I'd do lyric and melody, and they'd kind of do the chords, and then we'd kind of arrange it all together. And again, even when John came in, that was the last person we had it for the last 2 albums, 3 maybe. John Forrester, he'd come in and he'd work out his own bass, which was absolutely brilliant. He was fantastic. I loved his double bass, it really growled. Yeah. And so we never had a drummer, so I'd be banging stuff live, but I'd do a bit more recording, I'd kind of... but we always recorded absolutely live, still live. Yeah. Even the last couple of albums, which got, things layered on, we did experiment with the electric guitars and stuff. But the first track would be whatever Rob was playing for this song, banjo, say, Arth on the 12 string, and me on the tambourine, and we just set that down, that's it. So that's the beat, and not fucking all these the click tracks and stuff. Yeah. If a song speeds up, if you're getting excited and your heart's beating faster, you're going to play. That's the way it should be, as long as it doesn't slow down. There's no wrong with the song speeding up. Yeah. But we knew, we felt it. We could feel each other's the way we did it. So it was just all played to a tambourine at first, and then later on I might overdub some toms or something, whatever it needed.
Yeah.
After I'd done the meat vocal, before the vocal, but yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, later on we started kind of growing.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said that with such embarrassment. Because it was, I think every album got better.
Yeah.
Some people prefer the early, really rough stuff, raw stuff. But the later stuff is actually as raw, but we did allow ourselves to build up a few bits here and there. But we never had time to experiment in the studio. It was just we worked it out before or had an idea, and then when we got in there, we could see what it sounded like.
Yeah.
We only ever gave ourselves, even on the last 2 albums, we recorded the stuff in about 4 days, mixed it in a day, and that was it.
Yeah.
And keep it absolutely raw and not precious and not